everybody, welcome to No Left to Metal, and my name is Scott Waters. This is going to be a response video to two cool cats from the VC, both of whom are celebrating milestones in subscribers and having contests. One is, the first one's going to be Metal Theologian, or Aaron, and Aaron is having the epic mustache contest. So about a week and a half ago, so I don't remember when, I shaved my beard, shaved my mustache, and started over again. So here's what we got going on so far. Going for the 70s look. And to go along with that 70s look, I'm rocking some 70s Canadian hard rock, Max Webster, Mutiny in the up the sleeve. And yeah, so there you go. So, not done yet. I'll have more videos, I'll have more mustache. So there you go. But you can't have a salute to Aaron and Metal Theologian without a little bit of soda. And so this is cheers to you, Aaron. A little Diet A&W cream soda. I don't do sugar, so Diet's about as close as I'm going to get to drinking soda. Do like cream soda. Love Diet A&W root beer as well. So Aaron is a connoisseur of sodas and usually has some kind of soda on every single one of his shows. I love his channel, and anybody who subscribes to me, I hope you check out Aaron's channel too. He is called the Metal Theologian, and he shows a lot of obscure metal, but also shows a lot of other stuff. I mean, he's into jazz and reggae and just about everything. Hard rock, classic rock, you know, 70s hard rock. Just check out Aaron. Not only does he show a lot of cool stuff, but he gives me a lot of laughs. So so he's well worth checking out. So I'll put a link below to Aaron's channel, and do check out Aaron's channel. I think he has 300 subscribers now. So congratulations, Aaron, and very cool. The second up is going to be to Dave, or the Dark Stuff, who's having his 200 subscriber contest. And what he wanted us to do was pick your favorite band and show your least favorite album by them, and kind of talk about that a little bit. And you know, just showing one favorite band. I don't have one favorite band. I have lots of favorite bands. So what I did was I just grabbed the first few that came to mind. Thrash metal and hard rock and heavy metal. Just a few that came to mind that are favorites of mine, where they had an album that is not among my favorites. Doesn't mean I don't like it, it just means it's not among my favorites. So I'm going to start off with a little Southern Rock from Molly Hatchet. This is Southern Rock Masters. Now, I did do a full video of my Molly Hatchet vinyl records. I'll put a link up above that you guys can click on if you want to check that out. This record this CD is just weak. The problem with it is first of all, it's a cover CD. It's all cover songs with a few live tracks thrown on the end as bonus tracks. Now, bonus tracks I don't care about, but the meat of the record is the cover songs. My favorite band covering other favorite bands is something I really like. I actually like tribute records done by bands. This one, however, the song selection wasn't the greatest. First of all, they chose very obvious songs, and second of all, they didn't put their heart and soul into it. Like when Molly Hatchet, you know, recorded on their very first album, they recorded the Allman Brothers cover. It just sounded like Molly Hatchet. They made that song their own, and it was great. When in the 80s, when they recorded Mississippi Queen as a live song, they just made it their own. It sounded like Molly Hatchet, even though it wasn't, you know, a mountain song. On this record here, so here's the track listing. You know, ZZ Top, Short Dressed Man. ZZ Top, I mean, Thin Lizzy, The Boys Are Back in Town. The Eagles, Desperado. Bad to the Bone. Dreams I'll Never See, which, again, great song. I love that song, but it's a song from the, you know, that they recorded way back in the first album. Melissa, Mississippi Queen, which, like I said, I do like that song as well, but this one here is rather tepid. It doesn't have the same fire that they had when they recorded it back in the 80s with Jimmy Farrar on vocals. Tequila Sunrise, Tumbling Dice, which is a great song, and Wild Horses. I really like Tumbling Dice. That's probably one of the better songs on here. Okay, so I don't hate this album. There is some decent songs on here. It's just the choices of covers, not that great, and execution, it just sounds like they went in and recorded covers. I mean, they just didn't put themselves into this album. They didn't put themselves into this song. They don't sound like Molly Hatchet songs. They just sound like some band covering other songs, and that's what I don't like about it. So anyhow, like I said, Molly Hatchet, one of my favorite bands. I have nothing bad to say about them, and I do like some of the songs on that record, but my least favorite. One of my favorite thrash metal bands from East Coast, Overkill. And this is WFO. Now, in my opinion, Overkill never released a bad album, excuse me, but if I had to pick my least favorite, it would be WFO. Why? Terrible mix. There's just something about this that it's all bass. It's just this very clanky bass, and I love D.D. Verney's bass playing, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about this mix that just drives me nuts. And when I listen to it, I want to crank the guitars up, turn that bass down, and of course you can't do any of that on a CD, and so that's why, you know, WFO is my least favorite Overkill record. CD, whatever. A little classic new wave of British heavy metal. At least they started off that way. Raven, who released some seminal albums in the early 80s, one of the best bands that come out of the new wave of British heavy metal, in my opinion. But then they signed with a major label and got big producers involved and released this dud. This is like cartoon rock compared to the over-the-top craziness that they have on their first few records. Synthesized guitars, horn sections, a cover of the Spencer Davis group, Give Me Some Lovin'. Just not a very good Raven record. Very poppy sounding, heavy metal stuff. I don't know. You know what? It just doesn't work for them. And they knew it. And the sad thing is, it's produced by Eddie Kramer, who's produced some great stuff. I mean, Eddie's done, you know, Kiss and Jimi Hendrix and some of the greats. But here, I'm sure he was following direction from Atlantic Records, but just not a good record from Raven. Definitely one of my least favorites from them. And like I said, I love Raven. They're one of my favorite bands. I actually did a Raven collection video not too long ago, and again, I'll put a link up above here. You can click on it if you want to check that out. But my least favorite of the bunch, The Pack Is Back. Again, production, it's just not what I want to hear when I want to hear Raven. So there you go. This is another one. This is another new wave of British heavy metal band who was attempting success in the United States. They were trying to, you know, walk in Def Leppard's footsteps, who were having massive success with the ferocious Hysteria record, which I just can't stand that record. It's just the worst waste of plastic and metal ever. If you buy that CD. Anyhow, get off Def Leppard, right? Saxon, and this is Rock the Nations. Now, there are some good songs in here, okay? It's not a terrible record, but it's very poppy for them. It's not very metal. It's got Elton John, who obviously is a seminal musician, but he's featured on here on a couple songs, plays piano on a song. There's a song on here called Party Till You Puke, which is just, you know, your average Joe Lunkhead kind of song, trying to get into the college frat houses. I don't even know what they were thinking with that song. Just a terrible song, Party Till You Puke. There is a decent ballad on here, which Elton John plays piano on, called Northern Lady. Probably my favorite song on here, right? It's a ballad, which just should tell you something about this Saxon record. You know, Saxon are heavy metal, Machine Gun, you know, Strong Arm of the Law, Denim and Leather, you know, that kind of stuff. On here, the strongest cut, Northern Lady, which is a ballad. So definitely my least favorite from this Saxon. Whoa. Almost threw it across the room there. One of my all-time favorite guitar players. Everybody knows who this guy is. Everybody knows I'm a huge fan of this guy. Ted Nugent. This is Penetrator. This was his, I believe, brain fart, second album on Atlantic Records. I can't remember now. I might be wrong on that, but this does not sound like Ted Nugent. This sounds like, to me, this sounds like aliens came down, abducted Ted Nugent, and then tried to overtake the world with keyboard-laced pop rock in the 80s. This doesn't sound like Ted Nugent. When the keyboards are louder than the guitars, I just don't think Ted Nugent. I think the cover art, that's probably my favorite thing about it. And there's a couple of decent songs in here. Tied Up in Love, Where Do You Draw the Line? But they're so poppy. They're so... They probably would have fit better on the Damn Yankees than they do on this record. It just doesn't seem to fit for Ted Nugent. There is a few songs on here that you know, are more Nugent-esque, like Thunder Thighs and Lean Mean Rock and Roll Machine. But again, it's the production is very watered down. It's very poppy, 80s sounding, and keyboards just, you know, saturate the album. So definitely my least favorite Ted Nugent record. Also, this is kind of cool in the back here. One time stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas, and they had these things on the door instead of, you know, Room Occupied or whatever, Tied Up in Love with the little chains on there. Just fits perfectly in this record, so it's been in there ever since we stayed there. Alright, another one where another favorite band, Kiss. And this is crazy nice. And the thing is, Dave at Dark Stuff showed this exact same record. It just doesn't sound like Kiss. It sounds like any number of 80s pop bands. They use Ron Nevison, not Ron, Ron Nevison as their producer, and he had some success with Ozzy and with Heart, making them sound very poppy. And that's what he attempted to do here with Kiss, try to get them to sound real poppy, kind of like that Heart sound, or Bon Jovi. And Kiss are a heavy rock and roll band, and it just didn't work that well. I don't know that it was as much the production as it was the songs just weren't there. There are some decent songs on here. Like I said, it's Kiss. I love Kiss. So there's a few songs on here. The title track, Crazy Crazy Nights, was actually a hit for the band in Europe, I believe. It tanked here in the US. But I'll fight to hold you, Bang Bang You, No No No. There's just nothing on here that really holds my attention. Maybe Thief in the Night. But again, I don't hate any of these records that I'm showing. It's just not one of my least favorites from Kiss. Funny thing is, SMF Captain Howdy, the VC's biggest Kiss collector, this is his favorite Kiss record. So, it's just a matter of opinion. So that's my least favorite Kiss record, and it's because of that poppy sound. Again, Def Leppard, Hysteria kind of thing. Taking those hard rock bands and just making them sound like radio pop bands, and I just don't care for it that much. And my last one for this video is going to be one of my absolute favorite bands, if not my all-time favorite band. Time out. Phone's ringing. Okay, my apologies for the interruption. Phone was ringing, but right back on it. Last one in my least favorite records from my favorite bands, and probably my favorite band ever is Aerosmith, and their latest album, Music from Another Dimension. Produced by Jack Douglas. I had really high hopes for this record because it was produced by Jack. Jack who produced all those classic records, Rocks and Night in the Ruts and Draw the Line and Get Your Wings. Just great heavy rock and roll records from the 70s. And they brought Jack back to produce this record. And there is some decent songs on here. Oh Yeah is okay. Outgrowth Lights is a decent song. Legendary Child is a popular hard rock song that could have fit on like I don't know, like Get a Grip, kind of like that album. But for the most part, this album is just weak pop rock. It's oversaturated with ballads. There's obvious attempts at crossover stuff. There's a song on here called Can't Stop Loving You, which is a duet with country artist Carrie Underwood. I mean, I kind of wish that Steven Tyler would just leave that American Idol pop crap to American Idol and rock with Aerosmith. I don't care for that American Idol pop junk. I don't care for pop country, and I certainly don't want to hear it on an Aerosmith record. And then there's another, see if I can remember the name of this. I think What Could Have Been Love, another Warren Diane song, or Diane Warren song. What was that big hit they did? Which is another wretched song from Aerosmith. Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Sorry, brain fart there. I mean, just a wretched ballad. And Aerosmith's done some killer ballads in the past. I mean, especially in the 70s, But that's just awful. And this one on here is pretty awful as well. Just saturated with I think it's like 4 out of the, how many songs are on here? 12 or 13 songs on the regular record, and 4 of the songs are ballads. It's just too much ballads, not enough rock and roll. And here's the special edition that Walmart had, which came with a bonus disc and a bonus track. Some of the bonus material is better than some of the album material. There's a cover on here called Shaky Ground by the Temptations. Fantastic. It should have been on the album. Kind of has that same groove like when they did Mother Popcorn on Live Bootleg. It just has that groove. Or Rattlesnake Shake, when the Aerosmith recorded Rattlesnake Shake, it has that kind of vibe to it. That should have been on the album, replaced one of those ballads. Then there's a couple of other bonus tracks on it, not important. But the point of the matter is, I really want to hear Aerosmith rock, and this album just doesn't, for the most part. Like I said, I love Aerosmith, and there are songs on here I like, but definitely my least favorite Aerosmith record, unfortunately. What can I say? You know, I'm sorry if I offend anybody with this. It's just my opinion, you know. I realize that millions and millions of people love Def Leppard Hysteria. I think it's a wretched album. If I never ever hear Joe Elliott ever sing again, I'm hot, sticky, sweet from my head to my feet, I'd be good with that. Just, I mean, I just don't get it. To me, that's just total garbage. You know, it's an offense to the senses. So anyhow, some of my least favorite albums by some of my favorite bands. There you go. Check out, you know, Dave, the Dark Stuff channel, and I will put a link below to that. You know, check out his channel. Dave and I, on our taste, we kind of have this little crossover, especially with Kiss and some of the 80s heavy metal stuff. But he shows a lot of stuff outside of what I like and what I show. So you check out his channel because you'll get a different perspective from somebody, you know, different music than the stuff that I show. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoy the mustache. So that's it. God bless. Stay strong.